prove that Q minus 3R is equal to lambda P. What is this actually trying to do? This is giving you the math perspective, but in order for you to do this, you must see the physical aspect of this. What is the physical aspect of this? Let me just very quickly show you, okay? The physical aspect of this can be found by going all the way back to our basic, when we see one vector being a scalar multiple of another vector. What is this telling me? This is actually telling me that Q minus 3R is parallel to the vector P, which means that this question over here is trying to ask us, can you show with this that is given to us, right, that Q minus 3R is parallel to P? That's what the question intends us to do. It's not easy because of this multiple layers of interpretation before you saw the objective, then you try to add in the mathematical portion of it to achieve the objective. Okay, so although we are doing it very casually on the board now, right, I don't find this this first part of the question easy to manage in the exam. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to bring everything over to the left-hand side, which will be giving me a P cross Q minus 3P cross R is equal to a 0 vector. Okay, it is equal to a 0 vector because cross product is a vector. So vector minus vector, it must still be a vector. Okay, and based on this, right, I'm going to start to make use of some of the properties that we have discussed. Okay, we are definitely looking at cross product. So let me just go to the cross product properties. In these cross product properties, the first one that I'm going to try to make use of is number 7. Number 7 tells me that I can actually sort of like factorize this to become P cross Q minus 3R is equal to a 0 vector. And then I will refer to number 3. Number 3 says that if one vector cross another vector is a 0 vector, this tells me that P is going to be parallel to Q minus 3R, which implies that Q minus 3R is equal to a scalar multiple of P. Okay, like what I was telling you, I don't find this question easy at all. Okay, we need to train ourselves so that we can achieve something that is like this with higher consistency during the exam, okay? Today is just a very casual feel of how such question is going to be set. But this is definitely not a session where it's enough for us to be able to do such questions during the exam, okay? Next, the last part. It is given to me that P is a unit vector. The last part. When the question says P is a unit vector, I told you just now, there's only one information that is being conveyed. Is modulus of P is equal to 1. Okay, we don't complicate things unless it is necessary, or else this piece of information that is here, right, is just simply telling you that the magnitude of P is 1, full stop. Okay, and we are also told that modulus of Q, this is equal to 5, modulus of R, this is equal to 2, and the angle that is between, let me just draw a quick diagram for myself. The angle that is between Q and R here, right, this angle here, I'm going to call it theta. Okay, this theta is cosine inverse of 5 over 6. The question went on to say by considering this, by considering Q minus 3R dot Q minus 3R. By considering this, we are supposed to find the exact value of lambda here. Q minus 3R dot Q minus 3R, we are supposed to come up with this lambda P. A lot of students miss this because when they saw this, right, they don't have anything to reference to. You know why they don't have anything to reference to? Because like what I was telling you, in dot product, after a while, because this is not usually our focus. Okay, this kind of question is usually not our focus when we first start learning vectors. You will go through this, but it is just that through tutorials and revision package, the focus on this will slowly start to fade. But the problem is in the exam, it will actually come out. Okay, so the one that is going to be helping us to do this is also the one that I was telling you is super useful, but you know, a lot of people, they tend to ignore it, which is number 2. Okay, dot product number 2. Right, just now I was telling you it is very useful. So unless you can recall something that is like number 2, Okay, then you know how to proceed, because this dot this is equal to modulus of q minus 3r square. Vector dot vector is modulus of that vector square, number 2. Okay, especially when, that number 2 that looks so simple, just A. Okay, especially when a question replaces that A and visually give you something that is like this, right? Even more people will not be able to relate it back to number 2. So number 2, I'm going to, like when I prepare for an exam, okay, especially to those of you who have already done vectors, number 2, I'm going to specially remind myself that, hey, I am going to memorize this, okay? I don't know when to use it, but it is definitely going to be something that is, that I want to be just having it beside me. And also this, I want to make sure that number 3 and number 4, it is something that is very, very close to me, so that it can be at my disposal whenever I need it, whenever I feel that I need it. So for this, how can I even proceed? We definitely need to find a way to bring in lambda p, and I think I'm going to bring it in here, lambda p square. As for this, right, of course, I'm not going to let this be lambda p, or else everything is just going to be modulus of lambda p square is equal to modulus of lambda p square. So for this, I am going to try make use of the expansion thing, like number 5. Okay, so for this, it is going to be q dot q. Then after that, minus 3 q dot r. Then minus 3 r dot q. Then plus 9 r dot r. Okay, it is going to be equal to this. So what we have next from here is going to be a q dot q is modulus of q square. This q dot r is the same as r dot q, so this I can combine it together to become minus 6 of q dot r plus 9 times of this, which is modulus of r square. This that is here, I can rewrite it as lambda modulus of p and the whole thing square, according to what we discussed just now, where the lambda, I can take it out, sorry, I must put a plus or minus. Okay, I will have this. So modulus of q is actually going to be 5 square. I'm going to just leave it as it is first, although I know the number that I can make use of to replace it. So we have this, then minus 6. Q dot r is mod q, mod r, cosine of the angle that is between q and r, I have let it be theta. Then plus 9 modulus of r squared, later we are going to replace it by 2 square, is going to be equal to lambda square modulus of p square. Now we can submit the numbers. Modulus of q, this is going to be 5 square minus 6, this is 5. Modulus of r, this is 2. We have a cosine of the angle, which is going to be cosine inverse of 5 over 6 plus 9 times of 2 square is equal to lambda square. Modulus of p is 1 because p is a unit vector. Lambda is going to be my only unknown. Lambda square is going to be 11, which means that lambda is going to be plus or minus square root of 11.